A few days ago, someone asked me about my previous sales experience when I worked at a car dealership. And as I thought about it, I realized there are some key lessons that I learned selling cars that are actually quite applicable to selling many other things. So I thought I'd share my top five lessons learned from selling cars. So the first one is use a consultative sales approach when you can. If you think about someone walking into a car dealership, usually they don't say, I don't know what I want, I have no idea. Usually they say, I'm interested in this particular model and with this particular trim, but tell me all the features. And you could, as a salesperson, you could just take them over to that car and start pitching those features. But we were trained at the dealership I worked at to actually start asking questions like, oh, do you have a car now? What don't you like about the car you have now? What do you like about it? And are you going to be carrying a lot of passengers, or are you going to be hauling a lot of cargo? And you'd be surprised when you start asking questions that you begin to get a much better understanding about what that customer really needs. And the thing that they came in asking you for isn't actually what you would recommend. The second lesson is to surface objections early. So objections are, barriers to the sales process, and the customer will have a whole set of objections, but usually keep them to themselves. And it's your job as a salesperson to surface these so that you can knock them down one at a time. If the customer doesn't tell you that they're worried about price, or they're worried about the color, or they're worried about not having a certain set of features, or they're worried about the next model that's coming out very soon, and should they buy now or buy later, if they keep all of that to themselves and you don't bring that forward, then you're just going to be guessing, and you're probably trained to knock down these objections. So you're probably just going to start firing off information, knocking down random objections. Objections they might have, objections they might not have. So the conversation is going to go a lot smoother if you can get your customer to say in advance what they're nervous about, and then you can address these items one at a time. The third thing I learned is that emotions drive purchases, and it's not going to be a logical decision. When people buy a house, when people buy a car, when people choose their salon or where to get a haircut, it's not always about it's the most convenient or it's the best price. It's how does it make me feel? Do I enjoy talking to this person? Do I enjoy the experience? Have you ever walked into a car dealership and sat in a car and someone comes up to you and says, "You look great in that car"? Well, how does that make you feel? You feel like, oh yeah, I probably do look great in this car. Maybe I should consider getting this car. And so it seems like like false flattery and kind of a sleazy tactic, but really it's just illustrative of making sure you think about how the customer is feeling during your sales process. You want to make them feel good. You want to solve their problem. You want to make them happy. You want them to maybe get some additional status from buying the product. So think about the emotional side as much as you think about, the pure technical superior features that your product might have. The fourth lesson is what I like to call no is better than maybe. So this is a little counterintuitive. If your customer doesn't say, yes, I want to buy the product, or no, I don't want to buy the product, but they just don't say anything, that's a maybe, right? And a lot of salespeople think, well, they're still thinking about it. It's not a no, it's a maybe. The reason that I think no's are better than maybes is about how you spend your time. So if someone gives you a no, you can just move along, move to the next prospect, move to the next possible customer. But if someone gives you a maybe, you're tempted to keep spending time, more time, more time, more time. And that maybe may stay a maybe forever. You might convert a couple, but I don't think you're going to convert a lot of them. So good salespeople have a process usually where they take their maybes and they create kind of a process where you can follow up on the maybes, but it's not highly time intensive. And then if someone in the maybe pile, shows more interest, or they show a change in behavior that indicates more interest, then you can follow up and spend a little more time. But as a salesperson, remember that your time is precious. So that's why I think no's are better than maybes. Number 5, get all your decision makers in one place before you give your best pitch or your best sell. We were trained at the car dealership to always ask the question, will there be anyone else participating in the decision for color or trim for the vehicle? And we were trained to ask that just as we were leaving the lot on the test drive. And the reason we were asking the question right then was, if the answer was, yeah, my brother, sister, wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, they're probably going to help me decide. Then you could say, oh, that's great. Where are they now? Let's go find them and pick them up. And that way you can pitch everybody who's a decision maker at the same time. You can convince them all. The worst thing is when you think, I've got this sale. I've convinced this person. This is a go. And they say, oh, wait, I need to ask so-and-so. So try to avoid that situation and ask early, and you'll save yourself a lot of time. So those are my 5 lessons. And if you're interested in learning more about what I learned when I sold cars many years ago that might be applicable to selling today, I'll be happy to answer your questions. Just go to Ask Zenagos at zenagos.com and send me your question. I'll be happy to answer. Thanks.